Hello, now am I audible? Okay, okay. Can you see the file shared? Okay. So let us continue. These are the three problems we discussed with their solution. Now we'll see what are the problems with semaphore. Okay, and for that reason, we need to move to something more abstract than semaphore. Okay, so let us start with this one, the problems with semaphore. Semaphores, even though they are very, very powerful, they need to be used with lots of care. Okay. Sometimes what happens is if you use the semaphore operations incorrectly, that will result either in deadlock or kind of starvation. Okay, and that is the reason, even though they are powerful, you need to use it with lots of care. So for example, if you see it here, what will happen if you use something like this, signal mutex and wait mutex? Because of course, whatever these dotted lines are there, it's a critical section. So if you do something like signal mutex, and if there is a counting semaphore, okay, without acquiring lock, if you try to release, that is what the signal mutex is. Okay, definitely that creates a problem. Okay, so if it is a counting semaphore and suppose to make it free, it is initialized with value of 1, and if any of the process simply does signal mutex, it becomes value 2, and if the value of 2 is there, that means simultaneously two processes could be there in the critical section, so that creates a problem. Okay, even for example, if you do something like this, wait mutex and wait mutex, rather than using a signal, you again repeated the wait, maybe your process get blocked because already you acquired lock, and without releasing again you are trying to acquire the lock. Okay, you simply call it as like self locking. Okay, or maybe you just missed to mention the call like wait or signal, or maybe both. In certain situations, the deadlock or starvation kind of conditions are possible. So semaphores needs to be used very, very carefully. That is the, I can say that is one of the limitation. Like these are just conventions. There is no forcing on how to use it. We cannot force something like use first upon wait and then signal. No, because that power is given in programmer's hand, and if multiple programmers are involved in solving one of the application, definitely that creates a problem if one of the programmer by mistake change the order of wait signal, or maybe miss to mention either of wait signal or maybe both, so that definitely results in some sort of a problem, right? Now what is solution for that then? Solution for this is the monitors. Okay, now when you see monitor, you will relate it with something, right? So let us see first of all, monitor is abstract data type. I guess when you studied object oriented programming, you came to know what is abstract data type. So whatever the data is there, that is hidden, security is provided, and there is something called as a encapsulation, where directly data is not available to you, but well defined interfaces are there through which you access. So it is something like in C++, we aware like when we define any class, we have a data and we have a methods which works on that data. So data is not directly accessible. Exactly similar kind of thing is there with monitor used for synchronization. There are few languages they have implemented monitors also, but unfortunately C, C++ don't support, or they have not implemented, rather the library functions for monitors are not available. But advanced Pascal and other languages are few languages. Even nowadays Java also supports kind of classes for implementation of monitors. Okay, so it is basically high level abstraction. So like with SEMAPOR we get control over the low level direct methods are available there, and whatever the SEMAPOR variables are there. For example, you can directly initialize it with something, right? Whereas monitors are high level abstraction which provides the effective mechanism for process synchronization. Now, how it is more effective than SEMAPOR? When we see one of the example, you will come to know that. Okay, so basically it is abstract data type where the internal variables, of course, those internal variables are typically called as the conditions, and they are used for synchronization. Okay, and they are only accessible by the code within the procedure. So well-defined interfaces are there. Okay, only one process may be active within the monitor at a time, so that definitely provides some sort of mutual exclusion. So always there is a guarantee of mutual exclusion, and that is used to implement critical sections. Okay, so even though these are few high level abstractions provided by the monitors, uh, they're not powerful enough to model some synchronization schemes. So few synchronization schemes are there where monitor fails and you need to go with SEMAPOR. Okay, the structure for declaring the monitor is the structure for declaring monitor is, you imagine, like in programming language we call this as something like keyword. So monitor is kind of a keyword and name of monitor. Now try to compare this with something like, suppose I want to implement a class, maybe in C++, class and name of, say for example, student is the name of class. Okay, and then opening and closing is there. So same thing, right? So this gives the body of monitor, right? Now, what is there? We have shared variables, they are declared within the monitor system. So whatever these shared variables are there, they will be declared, and these are the procedures or functions, you call it as a, which are actually acting on these shared variables. In addition to this, we have a separate initialization code which will initialize the shared variables. Now, if you directly compare it with, for example, class, yes, the monitor keyword is like class keyword, monitor name is class name, opening and closing is there, no doubt. Shared variables, these are your data members, procedures are your member functions, and initialization code is there. You typically call this as a constructor kind of a thing. You are getting it, no? So it is more related with something like classes. For example, suppose there is a class called as book, class book. The same kind of thing we can implement in C language also with struct book. Okay, but then we know that there are some advantages of writing class that creates new abstract data type. So whatever the data members are there and member functions, that is well defined interface. Data members are not at all visible for others. They can directly, the users of class wherein they go with, like for example, they create object of that class and invoke the well-defined interface, that is your member functions. Exactly same thing, whatever your shared variable is there, that will be declared within the monitor, and whatever the operations you want to perform. So mostly, if it is semaphore variable, the operations are wait and signal. That's it, right? Those operations will be available through procedures. So like procedure P1, P2, P3, whatever PN procedures are there. And separate initialization section is also there, like constructor, where we'll initialize the shared variables. And then how to use it is exactly same thing, monitor name dot procedures. Okay. Anyways, we'll see one example on this. Of course, this example is basically making use of pseudocode. The schematic view of monitor is given here, where we have shared data. These are the operations performed on this shared data, right? And this is the initialization code, which will set some value for this shared data. And now what is this? This is again important. What is this? So this is the entry queue, because very first thing I mentioned about this monitor is only one process at a time will be active in the monitor. So if there are many processes waiting to access the operations on a specific monitor, then they have to provided in like queue manner, like first in, first out manner. So entry queue will be there. So first upon, say this process will have access to monitor, say process 1, then process 2, then process 3, then process 4, so on and so forth. So there is a queue for that. This is the schematic view of monitor. The same thing I mentioned on previous slide also. Only thing is it is like diagrammatically. Now, monitors make use of condition variables. And condition variables are exactly same like your semaphore variables used for synchronization. For example, X and Y, these are two condition variables. Now data type for that is mentioned as something like condition. Now now in which language? No, it is not any language, it is like a pseudocode. As I already mentioned, C++ have not implemented any library for monitors. Like semaphore library is available in semaphore.h, like that is the POSIX semaphore. Okay. Now two operations are allowed on condition variable. One is wait and one is signal. This is exactly same like Dijkstra's semaphore variables, where two operations we implemented called as P and V. Later, POSIX called it as something like wait and signal. And if you see the functions, something like same underscore wait and same underscore post, not signal. Because signal is already used in Linux and Unix platform to send some sort of signal from one process to other process. And that is the reason they changed the name of signal call to post, same underscore post. So here, condition variable X and Y used for synchronization, on which just two operations are possible. X dot wait, a process that invokes the operation is suspended until X dot signal. So somebody has to signal it. Okay. Whereas what is X dot signal? It resumes one of the process, if any, that invoke X dot wait. Meaning of this is very, very simple. X dot wait will add that process in the queue. In the previous diagram, we have a queue. So it will add the process into the queue. And whenever somebody does X dot signal, one of the process may be first come, first serve manner, or maybe based on what kind of scheduling algorithms are used. Whichever process comes first, that will be permitted to enter into the monitor code. Okay. If no x dot weight is on any condition variable, then it has no effect on that variable. So with SEMAPOR, we are utilizing some sort of integer values where x dot weight decrements the value, x dot signal, rather I can say same weight and same signal. So same weight decrements value by 1, same signal increments value by 1. But here it is managed by like suspend and resume. Okay. So now whatever your shared data is there, in addition to that, we have condition variables. And for every condition variables, if somebody does something like x dot weight, so there is a separate queue associated with every condition. Meaning of that is the process is waiting for, say for example, x dot signal or y dot signal. Okay, so x dot wait will add that process into the queue, waiting queue of x condition. So this will be one added part in the schematic view of monitor. Rest of the things are exactly same. Now, what are the choices for condition variables? If process P invokes x dot signal and process Q was suspended in x dot wait, what should happen next? So that is your choice now. Both Q and P cannot execute in parallel. If Q is resumed, then P must wait. Okay, and for that, whatever the options available are something like signal and wait, where P waits until Q either leaves the monitor or it waits for another condition, because whatever the signal and wait, these operations are implemented as the procedures in your monitor, and we know that only one process will be there executing in the monitor, so they cannot execute in parallel. That is what is mentioned here. Both Q and P cannot execute in parallel. Why? Because these are the procedures of monitor. That is the basic requirement. Only one process will be executing in the monitor. Okay. So that is one thing. Signal and wait is possible. One of the solution where P waits until Q either leaves the monitor or it waits for another condition. Signal and continue, where Q waits until P either leaves the monitor or it waits for another condition. Anyways, both have some advantages and disadvantages. So some pros and cons are always there with both the approach, signal and wait and signal and continuous. Okay. Now, for example, one of the language like concurrent Pascal language is there, where they compromise on P executing signal immediately leaves the monitor and Q is resumed. That means if P invokes x dot signal, what happens is it immediately leave the monitor, and now Q gets chance, like Q is actually waiting for that, no, so Q is resumed, so it gets chance for execution. Okay. And some other languages are also mentioned there, for example Mesa, nowadays Java, C Sharp. Now they have implemented classes for monitor. Now, for example, this is one of the solution for dining philosophers problem, making use of monitor. So now try to understand this. Monitor is like a keyword, and name of monitor is dining philosophers. Okay, dining philosophers. Where now this is the beginning of my monitor, and is not there on this slide because this is the end actually. On next slide, 2 3 methods are there. So enum is like in C language They are named constants. So something like thinking, hungry, and eating. Because we mention in dining philosopher, the philosophers are just doing two tasks. One is thinking and one is eating. Now, why hungry is there? Because if philosopher wishes to eat, but because the fork is not available, he has to wait there. So that state is just mentioned as a hungry. Okay, and because we have five philosophers in the diagram, so the same thing is used here. State of five. So this enum defines state of five philosophers. Okay, and they will be in which state? Either they are thinking or hungry or eating. Right. Next, the condition variable is given there. Condition self of 5. So that is used to safeguard the chopsticks. So 5 chopsticks are there. Fine. Now these are the shared things. Now have a look at this procedure. Pickup is the procedure. So void pickup. So this procedure is used to pick up the chopstick. Okay. For I the philosopher. This is the I. Okay. Now we yesterday saw that the ith philosopher need two chopsticks. One is ith chopstick and one is I plus 1 mod 5. Okay. Now see how it is written. State of I equal to hungry. Why I want to pick up the chopstick is because I want to eat. So if I want to eat, I'll change my state. Assume that this philosopher's state was something like thinking. It will mark its state as a hungry. Okay. Now test I. Test I. So a separate function is written there. Of course, it is there. Test. This is on the next slide. Okay. So what happens in test I is, so this is one more procedure written there. So test this state of ith chopstick, rather I can say, or ith philosopher. Okay. So if state of I plus 4 mod 5. Now if you draw a rounded table, okay, for example, if it is second philosopher, okay, so 2 plus 4 gives me 6, mod 5 gives me 1. So it is the philosopher on left hand side. Very simple thing. It is the philosopher on left hand side, and this is the philosopher on right hand side. So check what left philosopher is doing and what right philosopher is doing, because this is a round table, no? Okay. So if philosopher on left is not eating, if that philosopher is not eating, that means chopsticks is ready. And this philosopher, remember this is ith, we are checking for I. If this philosopher is hungry, that we have already said. So this is one condition. What is this condition? If I am hungry and philosopher on my left hand is not eating and philosopher on my right hand is not eating. You're getting it, no? So if both are not eating, philosopher on left, philosopher on right, and if I am hungry, then I'll change my state to eating. Okay? And once done, I'll simply say signal. Self of I dot signal. Okay? This initialization code is very simple. State of every philosopher is initialized with thinking. So nobody is eating initially. They are just thinking. Now going back, test. test I. Okay. And if in test I we have set the state equal to eating, then fine, this philosopher is eating, no doubt. But if it is not eating, that means that means you have to wait. And when this condition becomes true, it is not eating. If, because see, three conditions we have checked. If the philosopher on left is eating, whether the philosopher on right hand is eating, whether my state is hungry. Now my state is hungry already set here, so definitely this condition will be true. But if either of the philosopher is eating, then this philosopher has to wait. Getting it, no? So that is how it works. Pick up. And once you done eating, what you'll do is put down the chopstick. Now, which chopstick you will put down? For example, this is for I philosopher. So state of I is equal to thinking now. Because previously it was eating. Now I'll change it to thinking. So definitely in test function, this condition become false. Because in test condition, we are checking whether I am hungry or not. Now because I modified state to thinking, this condition is false. And because we are using AND operation, if any one of the condition is false, the complete condition is false, right? So I modified state to thinking and I simply test for left philosopher and right philosopher. That's it. That means if they wish to eat, now maybe we provide signal there. So for example, if you check it there, at the end we say something like signal. Okay. So this is just a pseudo code. Uh, now solution for dining philosopher is not important in this. You should be able to see how monitors, like for example, these are the condition variables. This is one function, second function, or procedure you simply call. Then the third procedure, this is the initialization code, and this is the end of monitor. So this is the beginning of monitor, that is the end of monitor. That is the way of writing it. Okay. And how to use, now this is like class, we just created a class. How to use it, like dining philosophers dot something like that. See here, dining philosophers dot pick up I, eat, put down I. That's it. So this becomes like, this is the name of the monitor, right? This is the name of the monitor, and this is procedure from that. Exactly same like we create object of a class, object dot member function. Okay. So definitely this is a deadlock free, but starvation is possible. Okay. That is the concept of the monitor. Even condition variables, they can be replaced with semapper variables also. Okay. Why? Because we want to make sure that only one process will be there in the monitor. How to make sure like that? Only solution for that is the spin locks or mutex locks. They can be implemented making use of binary sign. Okay. Of course, no need to go in these many details. So I think, just let me check. The syllabus contents. So if you see the process synchronization unit, the critical section problem, Peterson solution, hardware support, semaphores, monitors, classical problems on synchronization. I guess that is end of unit number 3. So I'll add the video lectures for this unit number 3 also. Okay. Fine. So let us utilize this time if you have any doubts. So unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3, 3 units are complete, and these 3 units will be for mid-semester examination. Okay. I think 25 questions will be there, and time 40 minutes, no? Whatever latest update. Okay. 40 minutes. Okay. So, okay. Yesterday I got around 3 messages from the students saying that the drag and drop kind of questions not work on mobile. What I'll do is I'll just put one poll there just to collect your feedback on that. Anyways, what I think is if really there is any sort of difficulty, then to compensate if that has not worked, what I'll do is I'll conduct face-to-face oral. Of course, online, no problem. So before that, what I'll do is uh, drag and drop questions related feedback. Work fine for me and I had problem. Those having problem, maybe we'll go with Come on, guys, make it fast. Still 24 students have not completed. Last 10 seconds. Okay, the results are like this. Out of 98, 11 students are saying they have some sort of problem, and 76 students are saying work fine. And most of this, that means it is working fine on mobile also. But if you are given from, what I can say, let me close the poll first. Okay. Yes, fine. If you use laptop, absolutely no problem. PC, no problem. I think only problem with mobile is if you try to zoom in or zoom out. Possibly, possibly that is the reason, because I tried it 2 3 times on different models, and it was working properly. Okay, fine. Now whatever the 11 students are there, maybe I'll conduct oral for them. Okay, I'll convey you the time. Okay, so that is one thing. Uh, Roshni Ghatge is saying fine on mobile also, and using desktop also. You use both? How you can use both at a time? Okay. When will be the results posted? So, okay, fine. So you need your results. So what I'll do is I'll share this browser, and कुठं गेलं ते? ISC1 quiz, edit the settings, and review options. Now you can see whether it is correct or not. You get everything. So save and return to course. Now if you go to the Moodle, you will get your result. That was just to stop some sort of copy and paste. Anyways, that was drag and drop. So I think now you will get, even if you see the result, I see one quiz. Let me turn editing off. This is the quiz. 143 attempts were there, and these are the results. And if you see the graph, now you can imagine the result. So, in education technology, it is said like whatever the assessment you do, it should result in bell curve, right? Do you know what is bell curve? So bell curve is something like this. See, it starts with this, increases like this, and this is what the bell curve is. Okay. So at 50 to 60% of the marks, maximum students are there. So for example, if simply close the annotation, if I move here, you will get number of participants. It is around 20 participants and 21 participants. And this is also in between that. So these are 17. If you see topper is one person is there having marks between 9 to 950 out of 10. Okay, something is there on chat. Doubt with ISC. What is the doubt? Go ahead. You ask your doubt, either unmute or type it there. Rajvardhan Sagre. It showed 13 questions. How come it is graded out of 15? What is your guess? Rajvardhan, what is your guess? Reason reason is very simple. Drag and drop questions on mobile were time consuming. But still, I think 15 minutes are sufficient. Anyways, for what I can say, for MSc, there will be no drag and drop, but multiple choice question, fill in the blanks kind of questions will be there. Okay. And answer to Rajvardhan Sagare's question is whatever two questions were there on Amdal's law, right? Without any choices for you, just you need to calculate that and fill in the blanks there, because some sort of calculation was involved there. Both the questions carrying 2 marks. Okay, so two questions were there for 2 marks. Now I don't know how many of you solved that, but need to check, because most of the time, if MCQ kind of thing is there, you simply select anything randomly. A better option is to have different kind of. And one more thing, because I selected that as a calculated kind of a question. I don't know, but for every student, it is separate. Like 75% serial, 4 cores. Somebody has got maybe 60% parallel and 3 cores, something like that. So it was separate for all, almost all. Fine. Do you have any doubts? How is the answer evaluated? You simply go on YouTube and search for calculated question type in Moodle. Calculated question, because in answer actually we are not putting answer, we put formula there, so automatically it calculates that answer. Okay. For example, even if you want to see that, I can show you that part also here. So for example, if I move to the question bank, and there is question on this Amdahl's law, and again there is one trick I use. One is I give parallel part or serial part. So for example, this is the question. Using Amdahl's law, the speed up gain 47 parallel and 6 processing core. If I simply refresh this page, see here, you will get 78 and 6. If I again refresh it, every time you will get something different. Okay, so that was the very simple trick. Okay. Okay, fine. So I think we'll stop here.